Guess what's back?
What's that?
Back again. Caitlyn Clark.
Yes, she is.
Tell a friend. Pulled up from the parking lot. The second shot of the game. She had the first 2 points on the foul line. Then she had, then they scored a layup, and then she pulls up from logo, from where the 22 is basically on the Iowa court. Cash.
Guess what's back? No, it's not just Caitlyn Clark. It's the chaos she leaves in her wake. When Clark stepped onto the court against the Chicago Sky, she didn't just play a game. She dropped a thunderclap that shook the WNBA to its core. The second she pulled up from the parking lot, yes, literally logo range, it became crystal clear. The league isn't ready for the kind of dominance she brings.
Most of the internet, though, clipped out Angel Reese pushing the Fever Girl in the back.
She was like the villain.
Here's a clip that everybody was fake upset about.
That's not a bad foul. No, Caitlyn Clark not finna fight, bro. It's turning they shit up, though. It's just some internet shit, bro. It's just bringing attention to these.
The first shot, swish. The second, from the 22-foot marker, like a sniper with GPS precision. She wasn't warming up, she was making a statement. And from there, it only got louder. Within minutes, Clark had turned a regular season game into a spectacle. One where she wasn't just scoring points, she was rewriting narratives and shutting down every critic still clinging to outdated talking points.
She has surpassed everybody in the amount of time that she has played in the WNBA. She fills up every arena in every town that she goes to. Teams have to go to bigger arenas so that they can try to profit off the Caitlyn Clark train coming to town. Most 20-point, 10-assist games in WNBA history, which I think you could say, yeah, that's a good game. Like that's how you classify. Vandersloot, obviously, 430 games played, had 10 of them. Diana Taurasi, people talk about it as the GOAT, right?
The GOAT.
Damn
Yeah.
right. You're damn right.
564. Where'd she go to school?
UConn.
Okay, 565 games played. She has 9 20-point, 10-assist games. And then Caitlyn Clark, 41 games played. She already has 9 of them.
That wasn't a game. It was a public service announcement. From draining logo threes to dishing out no-look dimes, Caitlyn Clark made one thing very clear. She's not here to be liked. She's here to run the league. And while the basketball was poetry in motion, the subtext was even louder. This was her way of responding to every hot take, every doubter, every so-called expert who thought she couldn't hang at the pro level.
There was a moment in the game where Angel Reese has a little bit of a push-off on an offensive board. Obviously, she's great at getting rebounds, incredible underneath. Caitlyn Clark says, what the hell is that?
Come on!
Caitlyn Clark says, what the hell is that, to the ref? And then she says, and most basketball people say, that's a take foul. Instead of a layup, we're going to make you earn it. I think Angel would miss one or both of those free throws instead of getting a wide open layup in that entire thing. Angel was pissed off, thought it was a flagrant. Afterwards, everybody said it was a take foul, it was a take foul. But it was very convenient how most of the internet, not all of the internet, most of the internet, though, clipped out Angel Reese pushing the Fever Girl in the back, Caitlyn pointing at the ref like, what are we talking about here? We're not calling that.
Now, before we dive deeper into the chaos this game unleashed, quick pause. If you're watching this and love seeing raw talent, drama, and truth-telling in women's sports, you need to hit that subscribe button right now. We're a small channel building something big, but we need your help. Like the video so the algorithm doesn't bury it. Drop a comment, even just CC is the GOAT. And most importantly, subscribe so you never miss a beat. We're breaking stories, not recycling them.
She was different, and she seemed to be more exciting than everybody else, but she also was an incredible passer and like disher in the way she went about her business. It was like, oh, this girl's different. This woman's different. Then she gets drafted to the Fever, and what she has done for this city and for this team is unbelievable. Obviously, last year at the beginning of the season, nobody wanted to believe, okay?
They still don't.
There's a lot of people that still think there's a lot of other. She is the one.
Back to Clark. This wasn't about getting buckets. This was about control. She dictated the tempo like she had cheat codes, making seasoned defenders look like they were stuck in a practice drill. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, her so-called rival, looked like she was auditioning for a misunderstood anti-hero role and couldn't even sell the script.
It pisses off everybody whenever we say it, and then obviously it becomes a whole thing because we're a bunch of doofuses and things like that, but like, this is the golden goose. This is the one. This is the generational, multi-generational player, and we're incredibly lucky that she's in Indianapolis, and she went fucking ham in the opener against the Chicago Sky.
There's no denying it. Angel Reese has been hyped as Clark's equal, but this game tore that myth to shreds. When Reese shoved Natasha Howard in the back during a scramble, the internet conveniently clipped the footage to make Clark look like the aggressor. Suddenly, Caitlyn's simple take foul, a textbook basketball move, became a talking point for drama-hungry timelines.
They clip that out. They just go to right here, bang, Caitlyn Clark fouls Angel Reese, and then boom, buzzsaw on the internet about Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese. Ultimately, I think the buzz is good for the WNBA as a whole. I know it's probably not fun to be a part of if you're Caitlyn or Angel Reese or anybody else, but in the end, the Indiana Fever win by 100, and Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark have started their second season in the WNBA, and Caitlyn Clark is on track to be the greatest of all.
Let's be honest, most fans didn't even see the full play. What they saw was a chopped highlight designed for outrage. But the actual sequence: Reese initiated contact. Clark pointed to the ref, like any smart player would, and got back on defense. Yet somehow, in the media edit room, that moment turned into another Clark controversy. Why? Because spin sells better than truth.
Like, there's no argument. Like, I don't understand. Like, people can yell until they're blue in the face. Like, the proof's in the pudding. We've seen all the stuff. And you say, like, it is good for the sport at large, but I think a lot of people get turned on. Like, it just always goes into a race thing. Like, every single time, no matter what, that is always the discussion.
And Reese? She was furious, not because of the foul, but because she got outplayed in every metric that mattered. Points, assists, rebounds, Clark owned them all. While Reese argued calls and tried to spark headlines, Clark just kept stacking stats. It wasn't personal, it was basketball, and it was brutal.
In every league, there's going to be like adversaries. Like, you know, Angel Reese is the foil for Caitlyn Clark and vice versa. Like, they don't have to get along, they don't have to like each other. They're competitors. Like, that, this kind of shit happens. But every single time something like this happens, and we have to go right back to
full on.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't get moved at all. So, like, we're not talking about the game. We're talking about that play, and that's it. You know. And then we'll get the stats about her 20 points and 10 assist games and the triple doubles and all that. But the discussion always comes back to this.
Pat McAfee didn't just comment on the game. He detonated the conversation. The moment Caitlyn Clark dropped nearly a 30-piece on the Chicago sky, McAfee hit the mic like it owed him money. No filters, no sugarcoating, just raw truth. He didn't dance around the narrative, he shredded it. While other outlets focused on shoves, fouls, and drama, McAfee was laser-focused on one thing: the game.
When I see the Fever play, I'm like, these are great teams. Los Angeles, I think they got Kelsey Plum out there.
Yeah, they do.
I think they're going to be great. There's a lot of great teams. I'm just talking about watching Caitlyn Clark play. Electrifying.
Yes.
Absolutely. She will pull. She will pull that shit up. She will shake, sidestep, step back, not scared. And then she'll do a no-look pass, full court passes. I mean, her teammates have to get used to her passes. Like, I think, because they've never really seen it before. Yep. She's great for the sport. She's great for the game.
He didn't rant to hype Clark. He ranted because no one else in sports media seemed willing to tell the truth. Clark didn't just win, she dominated. She didn't just show up, she owned the moment. McAfee knew exactly what he was doing. He called out the selective editing, the cherry-picked outrage, and the lazy analysis. And in doing so, he gave fans the green light to call out the nonsense too.
That's basically who's filling up all these arenas. Now, obviously, there's a lot of adult males who are fans and going to it, but you got a lot of little girls that are coming out watching their hero play. And she's selling out every arena. It's great for the sport.
Yeah, she's the most popular women's athlete on the planet right now, I think. And obviously, her game speaks for, like, it's just different.
You know what made his words hit even harder? He wasn't exaggerating. Every claim he made was backed by stats, receipts, and game film. McAfee didn't jump on the Clark bandwagon. He built the damn wheels for it. And millions of fans were right there with him, tired of the spin cycle trying to drown out a generational performance.
We watch the playoffs, you see a hard foul, guy gets up, talk shit. Did Angel overreact? Yeah, probably. It was a hard foul. It is what it is. They squashed it after the game and you moved on. But yeah, all the think pieces and everything after the first game, hey, it's numbers, so I'm sure the WNBA probably likes that part of it, but the other side of it, I think is pretty shitty.
Caitlyn Clark isn't just filling up box scores. She's filling up arenas. Every city she visits, sold out. Every game she plays, broadcast in prime time. And it's not just hype. Her performance is backed by numbers that are simply impossible to ignore. In just 41 WNBA games, She matched or surpassed the 20-point 10-assist mark more times than veterans who've played 400-plus games. That's not talent. That's disruption.
Caitlyn become confident that she's the one out here too is awesome.
Yeah, it's
like press conferences, she's leading. Coach is here. Aaliyah Boston's here.
Yeah.
Kelsey Mitchell, dog, great player. She's down there. It's like, this is Caitlyn's team.
Teams are literally switching to larger venues just to accommodate the Caitlyn Clark effect. Jersey sales? Through the roof. Ticket resale prices? Sky high. The entire WNBA ecosystem is shifting to orbit around her, and the data proves it. Viewership spikes every time she takes the court. She's not just part of the story, she is the story.
Ratings are higher than it's ever been for the WNBA.
Yeah.
Congrats to Caitlyn Clark.
That's right.
Nice.
It's crazy how it's always the Fever, seems like. Or it's a game that the Fever game is leading into.
Sure.
It's crazy how that works.
I mean, you know, what are you going to do? Proof's in the pudding, kind
Get a girl out of Iowa
Exactly.
who can pull up from the state next door
Yeah.
and light up an entire arena, every arena.
So when Pat McAfee called her the Golden Goose, he wasn't being cute. He was being exact. Clark isn't just elevating her own career. She's lifting the league, changing the economics, and redefining what star power looks like in women's sports. And she's doing it without begging for headlines or clout, just pure, undeniable skill.
But I think Caitlyn Clark sees the bigger picture, wants to leave WNBA better than whenever she got there. And obviously, I think Angel Reese is a part of this with how big her personality is and how well she's known. But it's like, ride that, just let's go. It's good for sports, the more eyes on all these things. And I think obviously, as a lot of girl dads in here, it's great that that is where it's headed. But it just needs to be acknowledged by everybody that there is a driver behind it. And it happens to be a bucket from Iowa in Caitlyn Clark.
Let's talk numbers. The Fever versus Sky game? 2.7 million viewers, peaking at over 3.1 million. That's not just a strong showing, that's the most watched WNBA game in history. For context, that's more than most regular season MLB and NHL games. And the common denominator? Caitlyn Clark.
The argument is stupid. You know, like you can say whatever you want, but it's very obvious. And I think even the WNBA as like a whole, like their front league office, I guess, if you will, like they might not publicly,
They have publicly, though. They said, hey, all these games are prime time.
Yeah, exactly.
WNBA, all the Fever's games are prime time.
They got more primetime games than the Lakers had.
Yeah.
Definitely more than the Colts have.
Nationally.
Definitely more than the Pacers had.
Yep.
Legit.
People didn't tune in to see a post-game quote or a TikTok beef. They tuned in because they knew something electric was going to happen. Clark's name alone moves the algorithm, moves the needle, and moves fans to their screens. It's why the WNBA scheduled 41 of the Fever's 44 games on national television this year. More than the Lakers, more than the Colts, more than any other WNBA team in history.
And she fills up a stadium in an arena more than anybody else. And I had somebody tweet me this the other day before we talked about Caitlyn's debut. You better talk about the biggest star in Indianapolis this year or whatever. And it's like, I'm not good at talking about I don't know enough about the WNBA to talk about it, but I do know enough about business. I do know enough about a superstar, and Caitlyn Clark is both of those things, and she has the work ethic to back it up. Like, this isn't just going to be a flash in the pan. This is going to be for the foreseeable future because of how hard she works.
You can't fake that kind of attention. It's not a PR stunt. It's not viral magic. It's a pure cause and effect loop. When Clark plays, people watch. And for a league that's been craving visibility and momentum for decades, that kind of gravitational pull is priceless.
I don't understand. You got so many clips of Caitlyn Clark pushing people in college. Yep. She doing all this type of stuff. She hit Jordan Canada upside the head last year.
She actually needs anger management. If people actually been watching Caitlyn as a person who also needs a little anger management myself, I'm talking about myself. Caitlyn's another one who needs anger management.
Yeah.
She's always effing crashing out. She led the league in text. She was one of the top 5 leaders in text last year.
Here's the thing. Rivalries are born from competition. But when one side keeps dominating, is it still a rivalry? Angel Reese has the personality, the flash, and the headlines. But Clark? She has the game. One is the conversation, the other is the standard. And when you line up their performances, it's not even close.
She's drawing Ohio. She's drawing Kentucky. She's drawing Illinois, Michigan. You got people traveling to Iowa. I mean, Iowa's even traveling over. You got people traveling to come watch here in Indiana. And then every other arena is the same damn thing. She has home games in every arena she goes to.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful thing. It is a great thing for sports. And it does feel like more and more people are starting to understand.
Clark's averages are through the roof, and her impact is felt beyond the court. Meanwhile, Reese is still searching for consistency. She gets attention, yes, but often for the wrong reasons. Whether it's flops, facial expressions, or post-game side-eyes, her spotlight burns bright, but not always for basketball.
Some of the pundits might not be there yet because I think they're OGs around the league. Don't just want to just hand over a torch to a young buck that's coming in. I understand that completely. But it's like at some point, if you were to rally around this and everybody was kind of like to promote this, it's like then your league potentially becomes, and the numbers are saying now the first weekend we're in a good spot for the WNBA.
Yeah, and hopefully like all the other stuff doesn't fall on deaf ears and like everybody kind of acknowledges it too.
And let's be real. You can respect both players and still admit one is on a different level. Clark is already playing chess while the rest are learning checkers. She's not just reacting, she's orchestrating. And each time they share the court, the difference in elevation is impossible to ignore.
Hey, let's focus on the basketball instead of all the other, BS that can come with sports in general, let alone just the WNBA, just every sport.
So this is a sport coming into, I know the league's been around a long time. A lot of great work by a lot of people to have that league for a long time. I'm not saying that isn't the case.
It takes time to get
boom. But now it's like you're becoming a league, like a big time prominent
young
draw.
in comparison, yeah.
Yeah, and there's going to be some, it's a transition that everybody is going to have to deal with.
Behind the curtains, there's a deeper conversation happening. One that the WNBA front office won't fully admit but absolutely acts on. Caitlyn Clark isn't just good. She's the player GMs want to build around. That's not a rumor. That came straight from a recent anonymous GM poll, where Clark was voted best point guard, best shooting guard, and top franchise cornerstone, all in one breath.
And I'm happy that Indianapolis is in the dead center of it. Love hoops, love hosting people, and Caitlyn Clark has brought a lot to our city. And to your point, Ty, and to yours, D-Butt, 41 of the 44 games are on national television.
Exactly.
They're on ION Network last year, and it was like the third highest rated WNBA game that they had all season. Most national TV games for a single team in WNBA history, most national TV games in franchise history. It's like, well, obviously the second one would lead to the third one there, but I like that we're just putting every single stat that we have out there. But it's a real deal. They are a draw. And whenever you have a draw, you have to understand that it's a draw, and you have to take advantage of that.
So why the hesitation from certain media voices? Why the reluctance to embrace her dominance? It's simple. Fear. Clark is steamrolling old narratives, exposing media biases, and doing in one season what others haven't in a decade. That kind of disruption doesn't sit well with gatekeepers used to controlling the script. They say she's overhyped, but the numbers burn through that lie like acid. When Clark leads in every stat, every revenue marker, every cultural metric, the only thing left to attack is her character. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Desperation disguised as discourse. What makes Clark even more dangerous? She doesn't flinch. While others tweet, clap back, and chase headlines, Caitlyn just gets buckets. After a hard foul from Reese, Clark offered her hand and got charged at like it was a WWE segment. Did she retaliate? Number. She walked away, unfazed. Unfazed. Focused. That's the part that rattles critics the most. Clark doesn't play into the drama. She doesn't whine in press conferences or post subliminals on social. She lets the scoreboard speak, and every time it does, it screams one thing. Clark wins. And fans, they see it. They're not falling for the spin anymore. From coaches to teammates to casual observers, people are waking up. Clark isn't just a basketball player. She's a leader, a culture changer, and a quiet storm. The kind of athlete who doesn't demand respect. She earns it with every no-look pass and logo 3. Let's stop pretending this is a moment. It's a movement. Caitlyn Clark is doing for women's basketball what Steph Curry did for men's, stretching the court, shattering expectations, and making everyone around her play differently. She didn't just arrive, she detonated. What's happening in Indianapolis right now isn't just good for one franchise, it's changing the WNBA's trajectory. kids in Iowa, fans in Kentucky, families in New York. They're all showing up because one player made the sport feel electric again. That's not hype. That's history. So if you've made it this far and you're nodding along, do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel right now. We're not here to regurgitate takes. We're here to cover greatness as it happens. Like the video if you're done with the spin. Comment Clark is the culture if you see the shift happening too. And turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning.